Mars is the perfect planet to settle. Why go so far in the universe to try and find a planet exactly like ours, or even completely different from ours? We have to find the perfect amount of change, not too much nor too little. A perfect balance. Mars is just calling us. It's possible to live there. All we need is to be resourceful and to use our imagination. What do all living organisms need? They need oxygen, living space, food, and water. How will we get those on Mars? Well, we'll just need to be resourceful and use our imagination. Oxygen. How will we get oxygen? Plant trees. The planet is already filled with carbon dioxide. How will trees grow on Mars, you may ask? Well, not all trees can grow on Mars. Yet. But evergreen trees can grow in almost any weather condition and don't need much water or fertilized ground to grow. Also, the pine cones that fall from the evergreen trees will naturally fertilize the soil. As for keeping the oxygen that the trees will be producing, we'll need to somehow form the greenhouse effect on Mars. On Earth, this is taboo, but on Mars, it would be more than welcome. We could build a factory that would pollute Mars to thicken the atmosphere and keep the heat and oxygen in. I'm aware of another problem. Mars is cold. The average temperature is below 60 degrees. I won't even step out of my house if it's below 15, much less below 60. But remember, the colder it is, the more hot chocolate, cozy sweaters, and more cuddling. As long as we stay near the equator of Mars, it can warm up to 20 degrees Celsius. We could use heaters to warm our houses. As for producing the energy for heaters, conventional methods may not work. So maybe the power could come from windmills planted on Mars, since sandstorms are so common on Mars. Also, we could use nuclear power, but of course we would have to test it first and make sure it's safe to use on Mars. And maybe in situations where the power sources aren't working, we could use fire. Ancient but useful. The main components for a fire is wood and oxygen. The evergreen trees could provide us with both the oxygen and wood. Plus, before you know it, the factories that are polluting Mars will have thickened the atmosphere, creating global warming, and you'll miss all the hot chocolate and scented candles that comes with the cold. Food and water, necessary and much loved components of being human. As for water, Mars contains two polar ice caps that contain frozen water. All we have to do is unfreeze it. Once it's unfrozen and boiled, it will be drinkable. For food, we're going to need our mother planet's help. Unless we want to survive on bark stew and pine needle tea from the evergreen trees, we can ship rabbits and chickens from Earth, and build greenhouses to grow vegetables to feed ourselves, the rabbits, and chickens. Chickens and rabbits are the ideal animals to bring because of their small size, how easily it is to breed them, the quantity of their offspring, and the fact that they're herbivores, so feeding them is cheap. And let's not forget, everyone loves fried chicken. Mars has one-third of gravity that Earth has. People might see this as a problem, but I see it as a plus. Even though this might cause bone loss and muscle loss, we can easily avoid the bone loss by taking supplements for calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. Less gravity also means less stress on the heart and lungs. Less gravity would also reduce the fractures and other gravity-related conditions. And these are the reasons why I chose Mars. Hope you enjoyed our presentation and have a lovely day.